Balloonboy. These are two character and weapon specialists. Yumiko up against Zariel, aka Devil Jin. Let's go. Game number 1 of Elimination Finals. Whoever loses a set is gone and out at 3rd place.
Yeah, you have the two players who kind of are like the only people that play these legends at this level in singles. And that's beautiful to see. You see two legends of the game, you see two legends of these legends playing here. And we're on Fortress of Lions. We got two bows going at it here.
Yes, and this is to qualify specifically, right? Because the top 2 qualify for max mode. So there is a lot on the line here. Probably more so than grand finals for today. So we're seeing the bow ditto. And this is honestly a game of whoever whiffs is going to get punished. Because both of these weapons are able to punish each other across the screen. Flower! Ooh. Wow, he was so bold. He went up and through the D-Sig.
Balloonboy held that for a very, very long time. If he would have ripped it a little bit earlier, but I don't think he expected Flower to just be that bold and like walk into traffic.
Oh, but right now, Flower, he is struggling to be able to get this KO.
It's so easy for a guy like Flower.
That GC side stick, that was certainly a choice, wasn't it?
Yeah, you need, all right, Balloon. It's game 1, right? We're in the point of like, what can we get away with? Can we get these early stocks to get some momentum in our corner that we can then steamroll the rest of the set? Sometimes we mess up because Balloonboy can still find these KOs. Welcome to Fortress of Lions and trying to KO at a 45-degree angle in the upward direction.
And welcome to Bo. A whole lot of D-Lights and not a whole lot of KOs, I have to say. But now we have Gauntlet, so what does that mean? We're looking for Sidelight, we're looking for D-Light as well. GC D-Light into recovery. That's going to be a classic KO confirm as Balloonboy evens up the stocks.
Oh, oh man, that was such a late in-light coming out from Balloonboy while Flower was straight up stacked on top of him. A little bit of a misplay there. He's looking so passive right now.
He's just trying to catch us landing. He's trying to get a read on how Balloonboy is going to land.
That's the second time Balloonboy has thrown out an attack. Flower has just straight up stood right outside his range and been like, yeah, go ahead. I'm going to finish up. The first time it was a stomp into the side air. This time it was an in-light.
Flower finding the sail. Balloonboy waiting so patiently below the D-Sig. Flower looking to punish a high recovery with a preemptive sail. He wasn't able to connect it. Now, getting the end-light, picking up these juggles, whiffing the side light. Balloonboy lands safely, but can he get this opening? Yes, he can. Beautiful GCD light.
Can he find anything after that? A little bit of a tap from the Wisp, nothing huge. Flower wasn't really ready for that one, so it's not easy to capitalize off of.
Also not easy to KO Flower. That downer was still not enough to be able to do it. Love that patience. He didn't swing preemptively, and that is going to be another punish on another whiff signature. Balloonboy has already lost 2 stocks that way. You gotta dial it back. You either gotta hit those or stop it.
So I feel like there's a handful of times where we're seeing both of them do a similar thing, but in a different way. He dodges right up through it. He is completely fearless. We'll see Balloonboy kind of stop because Flower's a little bit too close to him.
How does he know?
Stacked on top. He just must like know Balloonboy intimately enough to be able to see that coming. Because he hasn't been doing it that much against the other opponents. He's done it a handful of times, but not this often and not this early in the set.
What a punish as well. That's what happens when you whiff both. D-Light Flower gets the weapon toss. Balloonboy, such a good neutraler though. Just getting Flower off of him. Picking up the bow again, gets the sidelight, and uses that as the time to set up with D-Sig. Not actually going to connect on his opponent though. Tossing out the weapon, going below Balloonboy's weapon toss, not getting spiked anytime soon, but the GC D-Light into the recovery. Beautifully spaced. Last stock each.
I love those wisps that he did because if you throw him out and nothing happens, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's an infinite resource. But if Balloonboy wanted to come over the top, all of a sudden you catch him with a neutral signature and he's gone, and you have that final stock because he was in red.
He's stepping up. He's fishing for that stomp. He wants that D-Light, and Balloonboy is taking the space away from him.
Oh, he's looking for the downer. He wants to steal it.
Flower, this is his thing to solve right now. He gets the sell, but that's not going to be enough. He has a closing problem. He needs to be able to get this KO because Balloonboy, I know that he has that clutch in him.
The downer off the top. I don't think he can take another one of those, and he definitely can't take a hammer neutral air off the top. Flower is going to take game 1 here against Balloonboy. Very strong performance. He's really keeping this momentum going. I'm continuing to be more and more impressed by Flower the more we see from him.
I will say though, not to discredit Flower, but 2 of those stocks were handed to him because of the whiff side 6. Now, I do want to see how he connected this neutral because Balloonboy kind of just landed into it. He didn't use up any more jumps. I'm not entirely sure why. He just kind of drifted slowly to the platform, and Balloonboy took full advantage of it. Excuse me, Flower took full advantage of it. But again, really, really important. When it comes to especially fighting against Yumiko, you do not want to just whiff side sig, something with that much recovery frame, something with that much end lag. As you saw, Flower took full advantage of it. He found the D-Light cell. And had that not taken place, do you believe that Flower would have been able to find those KOs instead?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. A point that I was going to make before things started happening was it seems like Balloonboy and Flower will be stacked. And let's do the POV of Balloonboy first, right? It seems like he's kind of frozen in analysis paralysis, and he's not sure what to do. He sees all of the options, and he's stuck because he wants to pick the right one, but he doesn't know exactly which one the right one is. Whereas Flower will kind of be stuck in that moment, and he'll make that decision so much more quickly and actually find that answer. It may not always be the best answer. It is an answer, though, and a lot of times choosing something is better than choosing nothing. Even a bad decision can oftentimes be better than no decision whatsoever, and it's because he's playing so confidently that he can find those options.
But I have to say, if I'm Balloonboy, if all the games that I could lose, I'm glad I lost that one because that was a big wake-up call for me to dial back with my signatures. But what an N-Sig. Balloonboy has Flower off stage. He dodges back on. He goes back into with the N-Light. He is swinging and fighting, and now he picks up the bow yet again. Dodges in. The recovery still able to catch that. Balloonboy looking to close it off the top, but he has not found that punch upwards quite yet.
Ooh, just a straight jump to get over that signature.
Oh, GCD
nice.
Light into the recovery. That is going to be it as, Flower just whiffs on the ground right in front of Balloonboy.
Now, that is kind of the beauty of the Gauntlet signature, even though he didn't hit with it, is the way he was picking that up before is like you can still hit basically a grounded opponent with it, whereas like the bow neutral signature, not as much. That, I'm going to say it, that sucks. Sorry, dude. That's the way she goes sometimes.
Okay, backing off a little bit here, looking for the D-Light. Just again, that's not the first time that I've seen him go for like D-Light and Light like that before. So a bit of an unfortunate misinput. And now, again, what can you do to close this stock out? Or is Balloonboy just going to keep on racking on the extra credit again and again and again? He is hunting. He's trying to catch this landing. He gets the D-Light.
He's not in Stomp Sarah territory. Not even from the edge. Oh, the weapon toss. He goes for the dare wide. He went way wide into that push-off column. If Flower wanted to go over there, he's going to get the hit because Flower doesn't have really anything that can contest except like a beautifully placed recovery there to get over and get priority over the down air. But if he goes the other direction like we saw him do, he just ends up falling.
Bow on hand, so you know what he needs? He needs a neutral air, but what he does not need is to side sig right in Balloonboy's face. Good with punish with the N-Light. Finds another N-Light. Hopping off stage with that side sig. The Sarah is not going to be able to KO. Balloonboy forced to go for the high recovery as Flower just backs off onto the stage, plays it safe, and finally finds the Stomp Sarah. But is it too late in this game too?
It very well potentially could be. The fact that he picked up that Stomp Sarah from the middle of the stage and that KO meant so much damage was built up, which meant so much damage had to be built up over time.
Nice weight on the N-Sig. He's been doing those all day. He was looking for the jump call out with the Sarah. He didn't get it. No D-Sig, N-Sig, but he is piling on the damage.
I think he didn't want the Wisps to hit there, and then like the Stomp put him into the Wisps. Otherwise, the neutral Sig would have hit, and that would have been a KO. So that's tough.
Okay, he's backing off here. He's able to get the side light immediately into the N-Light because Balloonboy had no dodge. He used it up through the gravity cancel, sweating on the way back down, picking up the bow. Such a good weapon spawn for him, honestly. Recovery comes out.
Dodge.
Not enough to KO.
Weapon toss goes down. He is able to re-grab. Balloonboy. He's been playing a lot around that soft platform to give him some room. Grabs the bow.
Gravity cancel. That was so good. He was able to dodge the down air and still found a punish. Oh.
Flower! He was waiting for the option after that instead. Oh my gosh, Flower. I mean, even if he got that, that still would have only been the second stock. It's not like the game was won or lost off of that one moment. But Balloonboy is really turning things around. He's shutting down Flower in so many different ways. All of the things that were successes for Flower earlier seem to no longer be the case here with Balloonboy.
It's happening. Flower has a KO problem sometimes, especially when the damage gets up super, super high. And those stomp saves from the middle of the stage, they're not actually knocking out. Well, the question is, what do you do? One of his, choices was to go off stage super deep. And you saw how that worked out for him. He overcommitted, and Balloonboy just played that situation better and took a stock off of Flower. So, we're in game 3 now. Balloonboy has a little bit of momentum behind him. Flower has still not fully solved, that question in his mind. How do I find these KOs? But right now, his spacing with bow is looking immaculate.
So Fortress of Lions has has that soft platform up there, but really only Balloonboy seemed to be using it. Now that we have 2 soft platforms here in this fixed spot on Miami Dome, I wonder if we're going to see a little bit of extension up there so that Flower can find those KOs off the top a little bit earlier, whether it's like a hammer nair or a bow nair or a bow recovery. No, he's just going to stay very grounded. He seems to put so much focus on controlling the regular main stage.
Wow.
Doesn't matter if there are soft platforms or not. KO problem, not a problem this game.
Yeah, he is moving. He's looking so confident with all of his spacing, especially with how he has been anti-killing with those end lights, catching Balloonboy stacked with the neutral layers. Flower is truly schmoving. Now, let's see what Balloonboy can do in return. Side light goes through the side sig, does get gently punished for it.
Oh, the in-light just barely whiffing. 2 bow players going at it here. They're going to have similar game plans.
Going off stage for a huge ground pound. It doesn't actually connect. Oh, but the GC and
that
Sig,
time.
So good. Yeah, that time around, it actually connected. It fully worked.
He doesn't pick it up too low there to where he's essentially just going to run into the wall and end up dropping. Oh, this is going to be an easy punish there for Flower.
That
Even
GC
the slide charge
sig,
D-Sig.
Look what it did. It put him off stage. He has to land against another D-Sig into the neutral.
Extending off of the soft platforms, but now going back to main.
So good, just catching him jumping with nowhere to go, controlling the space with all of these different D6. Balloonboy struggling to land. He makes it back down and he finds a neutral layer. The GC D-Light not going to connect and gives Flower another punish. D-Sig, nail, that's a stock and that's a lead, Sparky.
Flower is playing this advantage moment really well. He's playing patient enough to where he's forcing Balloonboy to be the one to make the first move, unless it's Flower making the first move, but in a really safe way. Like he's going to throw out wisps while Balloonboy's on the wall. That's safe, virtually unpunishable. And he's doing this like really reserved gameplay to then hold on to this lead and force Balloonboy to make a mistake.
And Flower, he keeps piling it on and on and on. Finally, the recovery is going to be able to KO. And honestly, you do not sleep against Balloonboy, especially not his gauntlets. You find yourself off stage against him, and he can make anything happen. So, what is he looking for? He wants a side light. He wants an end light. He's dodging up. Beautiful. He goes for the GC side light. Flower finding a downer.
That's what he was struggling to find against his opponent earlier, who was taking stocks off the top when he wasn't ready. It was Marky Moo. This time it's Balloonboy, and he grabs the down air. There's the recovery. Swapping places with Balloonboy. Even he's able to jump and move away and get the fadeaway side air after the whiff D-Light. That's what I'm talking about with Yumiko and Fast Hammer.
Dashing in, dashing out, dashing in, dashing out, and baiting the end light and able to poke it out with that side light. Beautifully played. Balloonboy, he keeps trying to solve this question of how do I approach. He finally gets the side sig. It's not enough to KO. Can he get this edge guard is the question. He goes below Flower, but then pops out a recovery instead of a neutral.
I think in that moment, he could choose the recovery and get a hit, potentially leading to a KO, but then also moving himself upward in a safe way, which he needs to do now. The weapon toss going wide, but it's saving Balloonboy.
Flower. Oh my gosh, he doesn't even go through the weapon pickup. The question is he going to regret that? Was that play too greedy to put himself back off stage? Or is he going to be able to close out this stock and get himself in a lead? We'll just have to find out. Balloonboy, you can clutch this up, but you have to put in so much work.
Here comes the hammer.
Oh, the end light. Not going to be able to punish the GC.
Downer, yep. Right there. The perfect option in that moment. I swear, the way that Flower is floating, you put yourself right there. That's exactly where he wants you to be. And we'll see that placement once we get to that final replay. Great side air, man. The hammer gameplay, the hammer players are back. When I'm in ranked, I'm losing my mind because of it. But here, as a viewer, as a spectator, as a fan, I'm loving every minute of it, Dara.
So, again, you know, in this game specifically, I hate to keep talking about it, but there was a couple of whiff GC D-Lights from Balloonboy's gauntlets. There was a couple of whiff GC side sigs that gave Flower a bit of a punish. And honestly, I wasn't totally loving that. But if I'm Flower, I'm very happy about that. Okay. And then the other thing that I do want to touch on, I love how Flower approaches his advantage state with Hammer. He is so patient, right? He hits a Hammer side light, and then he alternates between immediate follow-ups and then just waiting and delaying a little bit. That is how he is able to find, like, the side light and sigs so often with Hammer, and so I really like his approach. So, Balloonboy, he is currently down. He needs to win 2 more consecutive games to be able to take it here. Are they going to go back to Miami Dome? What do you think about this?
Well, they're not going to go to Miami Dome because we already see that. I mean, you and I can see that being banned. And then there's another interesting choice being made. Brother man. I don't know. Ooh, brother man. This is a choice, certainly, for sure. is certainly a choice.
All right, so this is not somebody we've seen in a while.
Yep.
Blasters also, you know, we'll see. We'll see how they do. Especially in a one setting, one of the most unpopular weapons that everybody complains about all the time. Balloonboy does this. I've seen him do this when he's down in a set where he always switches off of the Zariel, but I feel like I have not agreed with those decisions in the past.
Now, he's obviously going to have the Gauntlet carryover from the Zariel that he was playing previously, and now he's going to be picking up the blasters. Like, his bow is looking pretty good, too. But I think he just feels like the potential to make a difference in the game is larger with Gauntlets than it is with bow, which is why he's not going for Diana. And also, you have, like, really high KO potential, which was like, you also have that signature. I love that signature. One of my favorites in the game. If you've been watching Brawlhalla Esports for a very long time, you know I love double-sided signatures because you can do stuff like that. You can dash in, and whether your opponent is in front of you, whether they're behind you, doesn't have to worry about whether you overshoot it. None of that matters because you have a blast in front and a blast behind at the exact same time.
And now Balloonboy has amassed himself quite a lead with the blasters on hand, looking for the downer, looking for the double, not going to be able to get it. Flower finds a neutral. If you whiff anything in front of Bo, Flower is going to be able to find a D-Light like it's any day of the week. So, tries to dash in, spacing out the sidelights.
Love the double sidelight attempt.
A projectile battle. Oh, quite literally, they both weapon toss at the same time.
Oh. Tough to spot dodge once it's already out. We saw that happen before, but Balloonboy's spot dodge was a little bit earlier, so he got a hitbox out before the Wisps had like fully adjusted themselves and turned into a projectile where the hit wouldn't interrupt.
The blasters seem to be doing quite well. Balloonboy is successfully keeping Flower out of the way, but if you whiff a silly like that, that is going to be a punish. He's looking for the landing, fading away, able to get the end light. What's going to be the follow-up? He just goes for an empty jump and no follow-up.
It's so tough to find follow-ups with blasters, especially when Flower is moving like this. His movement is really good. That's one of the things he's able to use well defensively and offensively.
So Balloonboy has gauntlets. What does that mean? He wants a side light. Oh my gosh, Bo, D-Light. It does not matter if you across the stage. That move will whiff punish anything that it sees fit. Balloonboy back to the blasters. He wants D-Light. Why? We want a recovery. We want a Sailor to be able to get this KO. And that is not going to be enough for him center stage.
Yep. That will.
Wow.
That will.
All the way from below.
Okay, don't say wow. He had a lot of damage built up. Don't say wow.
Well, everybody complains that it
That's not a surprise at all. That was there was so much damage built up.
Well, 2 stocks to 1 once again. He's continuing to stick to the blasters, and they are working out for him.
Oh. If Flower's able to play the juggle game, it seems like Balloonboy is not super focused on being a dare-based blasters player. Like, he's mostly holding the ground, he's poking with Sayers, or he's throwing out the neutral lights.
Finds a side light, just mixing up his landing as much as possible, making his movement super tricky. Flower jumping up and over the GCD light. The Sailor comes out. Is Balloonboy going to be able to make it back onto the stage? Well, that is for Flower to decide. He gets hit by the Sailor. He doesn't close out the edge guard, and instead, he is the one who finds himself off stage. Balloonboy is baiting. He is threatening with the concept of a downer.
Ooh, nice fade away from Flower to get away from that downer. They've all of a sudden now swapped positions.
Neutrillo setting up these juggles, which Blaster is so good at doing. Sliding off with that D-Sig, goes for the weapon toss, and the GC sidelight is going to be enough to kick him away. The horizontal drift of the recovery is not enough for Balloonboy. Last stock each. Flower can make this comeback, but Balloonboy, as soon as he picks up those gauntlets, he wants that D-Light, he wants that sidelight.
Oh, okay. That side stick can be really quick sometimes. He also might try and catch Flower jumping with the neutral signature, but I don't think so. Flower's playing pretty grounded, which is why he goes for the grounded recovery to get the KO off the top. And Balloonboy takes the game with the swap to cross, and we're going to game 5.
So this is not a pick I've ever seen do well. I mean, aside from Balloonboy, so this is really, really exciting. And also, he was sticking to the blasters a fair amount. It's not like he was just sticking to the gauntlets. He was super, super proficient with them. He's kept himself quite safe. He wasn't going for a lot of whip downers. He was just kind of fading away with a lot of siders like you touched on before. And then, you know, I feel like his GCD lights were usually quite well spaced as well. He just played really solid that game.
Yeah, he had great blasters. He did everything you're kind of supposed to as a blasters player. He wasn't going for down airs. I'm typically like a heavily down air focused Blasters player. He didn't feel like he could win that vertical game, especially when you're potentially dealing with a hammer, the way how strong the hammer nairs have been from Flower this entire time, the wisp potential that he has. If you angle it wrong, you might fall into those wisps. But one thing I'm really loving from Flower is when he does those really long slide charge down signatures, I don't think he's doing it to like put the wisps out so the enemy goes into the wisps and then I hit them. I think he's doing it to make his way down here without having to burn anything. No dodges, no jumps, nothing. He has full economy, and then he does the signature leading to the wisps, and that holds him there in the moment without burning a dodge, so he's there to follow up after that.
And also, it forces the opponent to use up a couple of extra resources to just jump and stall around it, and it does end up manipulating the enemy's movement. So, it is game 5. We're right back to Miami Dome. Balloonboy on the cross representing Blasters. Oh my gosh, as he was falling off the stage, Enlight still was able to come through. That was so cool, wasn't it?
You have to play so elusively as a Blasters player. You're constantly backing up. You're constantly on the back foot.
Backing off a little bit here. Flower giving him some space. Whiffing the D-Light is going to give Balloonboy that sale opportunity. Dodges back onto the stage. Uses a side of his own. Backing up. They're both respecting each other so much. The neutral air comes out. Trying to set up this jungle. Enlight's in the wrong direction. Again, whenever one of them whiffs, they have the disjoints to cover each other's space.
And it's so tough. These D-Lights from Balloonboy are now missing almost every time, and they're also getting punished. That's how dangerous D-Light can be, and that's what's really tough as a Blasters player, because GC D-Light is like a part of your neutral. It's a part of your advantage state. It's a major part of all points of gameplay for you, but you have to burn a dodge and then use a very telegraphed move. Doesn't have the range on the hand.
Yeah, wasn't able to find it. Sidelight, D-Light still as well going to be coming through as Flower takes this lead. Now, Balloonboy coming back on. I forgot what weapon he has primed here. It's going to be the Blaster, so he needs a recover, he needs a sail, he needs a D-Light. But if you whiff that D-Light, if you whiff that combo starter...
Nice!
There it is again, the D-Sig.
Love it. Dash D-Sig. One of my favorite things on Cross is Dash D-Sig.
That's been the only signature working out for Balloonboy on Cross so far. And let me tell you, it is doing an amazing job closing.
Okay, there's the in-light. Tried to catch him jumping straight over his head with the neutral air, potentially further juggling after that with the second neutral air into the recovery. Flower shutting him down. Balloonboy's not really able to get on top of him for the GCD light, and anytime he does get close, like Flower's been ready with those stomps. He's been playing aerially. He's kind of swapping over to a more dare-based Blasters player or GCD light, so he's in the air to be away from those stomps.
But Flower a little bit too close and a little bit too above for the GCD light to actually be able to connect. Backing in, backing out. D-Light still comes out. Can Balloonboy make it back onto the stage? Flower delays his D-Sig, waits, gets in there, and calls out that timing. He is up 2 stocks to 1. He is on the precipice of making an amazing upset and putting himself into grand finals and qualifying through max mode. There is so much on the line, but he needs to close, he needs to clutch, and Balloonboy needs to make this comeback.
So one of the reasons Cross was ever meta was in like 2s, and that's because Blasters can be reasonably meta in 2s, but also you could catch people out and grab them with signatures in orange from like the middle of the stage, specifically the Gauntlet neutral signature. That may be what he's hoping for. Okay, potential spike opportunity.
Dodge
through the GCD light. Unfortunately, that would have been massive for Balloonboy. Exclamation points. He sent back over, but no more exclamation points just yet because he did get hit.
Flower taking his time, getting back onto the stage. Balloonboy dashing and dashing out, trying to bait it. He dodged past the side light with the best possible timing. Balloonboy, finally, the GCD light comes out. Not actually going to be able to KO, but that one finally will. It is game 5. It is last stock. Balloonboy is behind in damage, but all it takes is that one D-Light, that one opener.
That's so tough. He's able to grab that weapon instantly upon spawning back in. Okay, in-light. In-light into double new. Double neutral air is a lot of damage. There's the in-light coming out from Flower. Still trying to control that main center stage.
They're both dash jumping around each other. Somebody's got to anti-air somebody soon. GCD light into the recovery. Flower looking for a way to be able to land. Balloonboy going off stage. So threatening, so scary.
Oh, I was going to say, it's the Blasters ground pound. The rare Blasters ground pound incoming.
Flower not able to find a downer.
But he didn't trip up Flower.
GCD light still gets him off stage once more. Flower goes through the recovery. Doesn't go over the stage, afraid of the D-Light, and he makes it back on. Is that the stock?
Nope.
Not yet.
He's still with blasters. A recovery is going to do it. Side air from the wrong side of the stage. Brother been there a million times. But he swaps to the gauntlets, hits the side air, and in Game 5, Balloonboy defeats Flower, denying him a first or second place finish, denying him the invitation to the Royale at max mode, and ending his amazing tournament run here in 3rd place.